Good morning all, hope you're doing alright. We've got a very busy calendar today. We've got an emergency meeting from the ECB and we've got FOMC in the evening. So what the outcome of the ECB meeting is that they might hike. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do, but it's looking likely, and we'll see that the euro has moved a lot on the bubbles as well. Perhaps I can show you a bit clearer. Um, and view, zoom, fit. You can see the euro bubble now. It's moved a lot. It's a huge size as well. They're shorting the euro, and because they're shorting it, it's getting larger. So remember the size is price performance. They're long on pound, and you can see the pound bubble's got punted. So, like I was saying, euro pound long, and some people did catch a GU short as well. So hopefully the logic's clear. Is that if something's out here, it's usually going to be a fairly decent sell. If something's down there, it's going to be fairly likely going to be a buy, because the little guys are normally wrong and counter trend. So risk off the big picture, and VIX is really high as well, and that's spiking. So we have got to be careful with there. And now the caveat here is S&P is making a buy, which I'll show you. Even though we're risk off the big picture, here they're shorting it against the 21 moving average. Now if this 21 moving average plateaus and then comes down, you know, we're going to probably, this could be a bottom. However, we want them to short it a bit more. They're only shorting it a tiny bit. What is that, like 2%? So it's not really a big shift. We want a big shift. We want these guys to be so scared of the FOMC. They're like, right, I'm out. Sod this, is too scary. But they're not. They're holding, and it's that hodl mentality that's damaging the market. So that's a big caveat. So what I did yesterday, I made the assumption that, you know, they were going to short it, and so we were going to rally. Now the analysis yesterday is predicated on the fact that we were going to be a buy on the S&P. However, they reversed. The herd reversed. So even though it looked like, you know, it was going to be a buy, they just went long, right? And because they went long, price fell. So all that analysis I did yesterday in the private channel, it was for naught, because of the, you know, what these guys were doing here on the S&P. So we need a flush out, and then things would be a lot easier from like an analytical perspective. So what's going to happen here? I mean, maybe they'll short it. Hopefully, you know, well, if they, you know, if they do, then we'll come up, you know. So and likewise the gold, we're making a buy, but we're quite stagnant. We're almost like doing a similar thing here, like they're undecided and they're just holding. Which is a bit crazy, because gold's going to really move tonight, so they're being quite stubborn. It's a big caveat there. So all the analysis that goes out in the Quasidb Telegram, it is sort of predicated on, you know, what happens here on the S&P and then risk. So at the big picture we should be falling, but it all depends what they do on a sort of time perspective, on a dynamic level. So very tricky, and maybe we'll like reverse after the press conference. You know, it all depends what Powell says. But it's a great idea to get the FXCM trading station, and so you just look at that, you know, when you can, and when you have your morning breakfast and your coffee, just open it up, look at it, look at the SSI snapshots. Right, okay, that's a sell, that's a buy, and, you know, you just it's a good advice just to get a copy. It's free as well. So yeah, it was quite a frustrating day yesterday. However, we're still up a lot on our signals. We're up a great deal, which is really good. Dollar CAD is a big mover, and UK 100 is a big mover. Note the euro pound is also quite green. France 40 is red, and Germany is red. S&P is red. US 30, the Dow Jones is red. So this is the movement from last week. Euro's moved a lot because of this emergency meeting today, Wednesday. So I recommend clicking that and reading the article. And yeah, basically, you know, as I say, just look at the snapshots. You want these numbers to increase to get a stronger bias, and you want the number to decrease to get a stronger bias for a buy. If they add, that number is going to get larger. Okay, so pound USD was already a sell back here, but they added. You see, and that number's got quite a lot larger. They can continue to go. They can continue to add because you know, it's not that extreme. 3.22 is not that extreme. So hope that's clear. Just covered this. This hexagon is a potential scenario where they buy it, and if they buy it, we're going to break that low, and we're going to tumble even more. So we don't want them to buy it really badly, and hopefully they short it. And because they reversed and they bought the dip, it sort of ruined the analysis. I put out some cross yen analysis, and it didn't really pan out. Pound yen went up to take the stops how I imagined, and we fell. So it was a bit naughty from a sentimental view. There's indecision for gold. They shorted it here, so we went up, and they went long, and so we fell. So that's how that works. The US yield curve is not looking healthy. It's quite sick looking. Remember, we want like a gradual curve, incline. We don't want the curve, and this is what's going on. And these are spiking a lot now. So that's that. Stop loss cluster. Largest mover was gold. You remember yesterday the largest mover was gold for a sell. So basically, it flip-flopped. The last 24 hours, it was the largest mover for a sell, and now it's a buy. So gold is very choppy, so be careful of that. Note that the sells aren't really matching. AU is matching, GU, NU, and UC, and there's a lot of mismatch. See with the cross yen? At the high level it's a buy, but dynamic saying sell. So we want the sells to match for confidence. Signals, those signals yesterday, we had some AJ, but we don't include them. Just because they haven't got any technical checks. So I was thinking about removing these, but you know, I ran a poll and everyone was quite keen to keep them, just that people have to do technical analysis for AJ, CJ and gold. So ideally I'd like to remove them, but people were happy about keeping them, so just bear that in mind. Okay, weekly total is still immense at 228 pips, which is fantastic. And keep an eye on this emergency meeting from the ECB. Enjoy your day ahead, and always keep calm and trade safely. And I'll be back in the evening as well. So just be careful today. It's probably not an ideal situation to open the trade. If you're looking to open the trade, perhaps trade after the press conference. And we don't know what's going to happen with the ECB either. So just be careful, and I'll speak to you this evening.